Hello, and welcome to Broadcast News. I'm Mark Rossman. On this week's edition, you will hear about a possible recall election in Howell and two area residents on a national tour with a Broadway musical. A state commission has granted a group of municipal employees in Jackson the approvals they needed to form a new collective bargaining unit for more than a dozen supervisory employees. Members of the new union, the Jackson Township Municipal Supervisors, petitioned the State Public Employee Relations Commission in 2014 for permission to establish the bargaining unit. Among the employees who are eligible to join the new union are Jackson's Director of Community Development, the Director of Public Works, the Tax Assessor, Tax Collector, Zoning Officer, Construction Code Official, and Recreation Program Administrator. A representative of the new group said the eligible employees are organizing and will then seek negotiations with municipal officials. With more news, here is Jennifer Ortiz.
A group of Howell residents wants to conduct an election that, if successful, would recall Councilman Robert Nicastro and remove him from his position on the Township Council before the scheduled end of his current term on December 31, 2018. Charles O'Donnell, Stephen Charney, and Paul Dorado have filed a recall petition that has been certified by the municipal clerk, but that certification does not guarantee the question will appear on the November general election ballot. In order to get the question onto the ballot, the recall committee will have to obtain the signatures of about 8,700 registered voters in Howell. The men behind the recall effort said they have concerns with the actions that Nicastro has taken in regard to the construction of affordable housing in the community. They said his actions will impact the Howell School District and police and fire services. Nicastro said he has been informed that a group of residents is unhappy with Howell's affordable housing plan and has started a recall effort. He said he will continue to focus on his job serving residents. Nicastro said his record on the council has demonstrated that he is against overdevelopment. He said the township's actions on this issue have much to do with the state mandates regarding affordable housing.
Now, here's Jennifer Amato.
Girls from across the state had a chance to feel like Cinderella last Saturday, as more than 500 prom dresses were offered for free through the Traveling Prom Dress event at South Brunswick High School. The school's Viking Closet Club collects clothing year-round for students who may not be able to afford them and began the prom dress collection 5 years ago. This year, more than 100 high school students received one clean, new, or gently used prom dress for free and additional dresses for just $5 each. Shoes, jewelry, accessories, and handbags were also available. More so, dozens of vendors were on hand to provide free updos, makeup applications, and henna tattoos. Complete with a showing of a princess-themed movie and food donated by local restaurants, the experience was as memorable as the prom is going to be for the students. For more information and pictures from the event, see this week's Suburban and North and South Brunswick Sentinel.
Spotswood officials are considering the possibility of putting the question of whether to keep the borough-owned ambulance service on the ballot in November. Borough Council members recently voted against an ordinance that would have abolished the Spotswood EMS unit. They also rejected a plan to outsource the town's emergency medical services operation to a private contractor. Borough officials had previously explained that financial considerations were behind the move to give up the local emergency unit. Over the past month, Spotswood residents have attended council meetings to plead with their elected officials to retain the community's ambulance service. The exact nature of what residents may be asked in the November referendum concerning the EMS squad is unknown at this time. Under a plan being discussed by the Board of Education, the earliest date that full-day kindergarten could be implemented in the Marlboro K-8 school district is September 2017. Board members are discussing a plan that would see renovations made to 4 elementary schools in order to accommodate full-day kindergarten at those locations. Those renovations, combined with available classrooms at the David C. Abbott Early Learning Center, would permit Marlboro to expand its half-day kindergarten program to a full day of school for all students, according to district officials. The current plan would require the use of what is referred to as the banked tax levy cap to fund renovations at the Asher Holmes, Frank DeFino, Frank J. Dugan, and Robertsville schools. the use of those tax funds would impact a property owner's tax bill during the 2016-17 school year. An informal poll among board members indicated they are in favor of the classroom conversion plan, despite having reservations about raising taxes. And now, here is Tim Morris with sports.
The road to Atlantic City's Boardwalk Hall became a little shorter for area wrestlers at the NJSIAA District 21 tournament held at Manalapan High School. The tournament was the first stop along the way to the state individual championships, with the top 3 finishers from each weight class advancing to the next stop, this weekend's Region 6 championships in Toms River. The tournament was also a farewell to team championships for the season, with Howell High School grabbing the final team title thanks to having 5 champions. Anthony Gagliano in blue gave the Rebels bonus points, scoring a technical foul victory over St. John Vianney's Joseph Vasily in their 132-pound final. This was the second consecutive district championship for the Howell senior. His Howell High School teammate, Chris Lindemann, also provided bonus points in the 138-pound final. Lindemann scored a 13-0 decision over Holmdel's Scott DuPont. This was the second district championship for this senior as well. DuPont did a good job of avoiding the pinfall, but the determined Lindemann was going to get that district title back that he had last won in 2014. In the 220-pound final, Howell's Eric Kosian also scored a technical foul victory, defeating Joe Morano of Manalapan. Here, the Rebel turns a bad situation into a positive one, scoring a 2-point takedown. It wasn't all about Howell, however. Holmdel's Garrett Hilsheimer, here pinning Howell's Frank Leonardis, became the first Hornet to win a district championship since 1998. The Hornet more than lived up to his top seeding in the 170-pound weight class. His celebration afterward shows how important it was to him and the program. The same for St. John Vianney, where Micah Clark, here wearing the black, was able to beat Frayole Township's Taylor Larkin in the heavyweight final. This pinfall helped secure second place for the Lancers, a rising power, not only in the district but the Shore Conference. This is Tim Morris, Greater Media Newspapers.
In sports, every battle comes with a start time. But our battles don't begin with a coin flip, and they don't end when the whistle blows. Our opponents, wind, rain, time, and chance, are always present. We wage a battle against darkness, against powerlessness. We're fighting right now, a team of more than 9,000. And if you don't notice us, that means we're winning.
Here is Christine Barsha.
Local actors Skip Robinson and Jason Cohen will perform in the national tour of the Broadway musical $1 Million Quartet at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. March 19th at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank. Robinson of Manalapan will play the role of Elvis Presley, and Cohen of Marlborough will play the role of Jerry Lee Lewis. The musical was inspired by a one-time recording session featuring Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Johnny Cash that took place on December 4th, 1956 at the Sun Studio in Memphis, Tennessee. For more information, visit www.countbasietheater.org.
Thank you for joining us. Please visit gmnews.com next week for a new edition of Broadcast News.